moments away from the start of our game. Let's take a look at our starting lineup, presented by your local Toyota dealers, Boston College. And their record on the season, 8-10. Jaden Zachary, double-digit scorer for this team as well, along with the Langford brothers. And for North Carolina, with Hubert Davis, Caleb Love, top three-point shooter on the team, and he is part of the Toyota starting lineup for North Carolina, and they own the opening tip in the white and blue. Boston College in traveling maroon and gold.
And Tom, not because I'm a center, but I think it's going to be a great matchup inside between Armando Bacot. And then you got a guy from Boston College, Quinten Post, coming back from an early season foot surgery. Good defensive stand early for BC.
Ashton Langford brings it up for the Eagles. This is Post against Bacot. Gonna back his way into the paint, setting up shot. Well defended by Bacot.
He just sat on that left shoulder and posted, and they were giving him all kinds of room to turn back, but he didn't want to go that way.
Bacot trying to return the favor to Post. Around him, high off the glass and tapped away.
Spun around from the double team, which was coming low.
BC is 2-5 in conference play. They do not have a win yet away from Chestnut Hill. Zachary in tight. Bacot trying to wrestle it away. It is off of North Carolina.
This is a team, Boston College, that really struggles. Neither team is really built around the three-point shot. North Carolina scores with their pace of play. BC is going to have to manufacture some offense in this game tonight.
Eagles last played Saturday. That was at home against Wake Forest, losing 85-63. They made 9 threes in that game, well above their season average. Shot clock is down to 7. Zachary just inside the line. The box out. It came to Post. He had a chance. Fight for the loose ball. Ripped away by R.J. Davis. The arrow favors Boston College.
And Post had an easy shot right there, but it was low. He brought the guards into play and allowed Davis to tie him up. Just couldn't get a handle on it right there.
Quinten Post, number 12, missed 13 games with a foot injury as that one rattles out from Ashton Langford. The Eagles hustle back on defense.
Carolina going under the screens. They're getting shooters, letting them prove themselves from the outside. BC is getting some decent looks.
Nance puts it on the floor. Bacot for the 12-6 Tar Heels. Nance gets a nice kind bounce.
He's back after missing time with the sore back. I think it's a good start for him. And you know, you get a guy coming back off an injury. It's good to start him while he's loose from pregame warmups.
Back injury for Nance at Pitt. They've missed the last 3 games. Post trying to back it on down against Bacot.
He finally turned the way that Bacot was ceding to him, but he couldn't finish.
They bounce it inside to Bacot against 2 defenders. It appeared that Ashton Langford reached in.
Here's the look. You see him sitting on that left shoulder because that's the way Post wants to turn. And he had a great angle to the basket, just could not finish.
Tied for the team high in points, and that win at Louisville on Saturday for North Carolina and Armando Bacot. Their first true road victory of the season. Bacot has to kick it out. It's too high. And Davis couldn't go up the ladder to get it. And a turnover for North Carolina.
You know, it's interesting, Tom. I mean, they're coming with the double team with number 11, Ashton Langford. If you watch that, he's coming low, and really Bacot is turned away from it. That's just a wild pass cross court.
The Eagles have missed all 5 of their shot chances so far in the first half.
These two, we talked about beforehand, that these two had an ugly shooting game here last year.
Shot clock down to 6. Felipe.
Earl Grant very high on him, and you know, this team has had some injury issues too. They're starting, guys are healthy, but they're not quite in top game shape. They have really been emphasizing Bacot early on in this game, trying to get him touches. Good seal right there.
66% from the free throw line on the season for Bacot. Tapped out, he retrieves it.
Nice job, Nance, keeping that alive.
Bacot only played a minute in that game against Virginia with the ankle injury. Responded in strong fashion against Louisville with a double-double, his 10th of the year. That's broken up Zachary.
Carolina's been a little casual with the basketball here in the first 4 minutes.
Post against Nance. Comes up short.
Just having a tough time finishing so far early.
Davis on the run, drew 3 defenders. This is Nance. Free ball. Couple of threes for Pete Nance, graduate student and transfer from Northwestern, who shoots 34% from beyond the arc of the season.
And that's just an extra bonus as if he gets that dialed in. And you know, BC continuing trying to get something going inside, cannot find the basket.
Driving Love. Post was ready defensively.
Nice help trying to get that second foul on him.
Langford against Bacot. What a drive. DeMar Langford.
Really, nobody stopped the dribble up the court. The guy, somebody's got to meet him. Free throw line extend to try to slow him down. He was running downhill.
Davis. What a drive by Langford as he challenged Bacot. Trailing the play.
It was kind of a weird deal that Zachary and Bacot were arm in arm walking up the floor.
Bacot's got 5 rebounds so far in the first half. Love straight away. It's offline.
And he has really been struggling from the floor in the last 5 games. Last 6, 9 of 37 from 3 coming in.
Saw Earl Grant his 2nd season as the BC coach. They won 2 games at the ACC tournament a season ago, got to the quarters. That one got to Post, maybe off the fingertips of Bacot.
Bacot, they were going to lob over the top. Bacot mistimed his jump. And maybe that's, the good thing for Post, finally convert something inside.
Despite the early struggle shooting for Boston College, it's a 2-point game. 4 minutes in. 6 minutes in, rather. Down to 14 left in the half. Shot clock at 6 for North Carolina. Love. Post was in there, may have deflected it.
Good late help, a little risky though.
Post, the catch, and the basket from Ashton Langford.
Challenges the shot on one end, just beat everybody down the floor. It was a great look ahead by BC.
The Eagles have tied it up. Bacot all the way in for the rim bender.
Well, I think they're really struggling to figure out how to come over and double Bacot. Post looked like he was expecting some help, but rather than pick up a silly second foul, just let him go in that.
Armando Bacot, 4th in the conference in scoring, 17.4 points per game, 2nd in rebounding, almost 11 per game. Foul coming up against North Carolina. The hustle from Quinten Post. Made the play defensively, got down the other end, and watch out below. Number 5, jamming it home. Cheminsky.
Well, Earl Grant talked about Boston College controlling the tempo in this game. I think the pain threshold would be about 70 points. He wants to keep something underneath that. And for North Carolina, Hubert Davis said this team is sharing the ball really well. Now, to this point, 2 assists, 3 turnovers. They've been a little slappy with the ball, but Pete Nance, a couple of threes makes life a lot easier, Tom.
Teams met here in Chapel Hill last season, January 26th. It was a win for Hubert Davis and the Tar Heels, 58-47. North Carolina, as a team in that game, shot 29%. It is the only time in the history of basketball here but they shot less than 30% and won the game.
Well, and you're saying at home, how can that be? Well, Boston College shot 21% for the game.
Exactly. Substitutions, Bacot has gone to the North Carolina bench. Post to the Boston College bench. Bacot with 4 points.
And we get another nice matchup with Nance and Bickerstaff.
Bickerstaff pass deflected and retrieved by Madsen. He leads his team in three-point shooting, 45 in the room. Madsen trying to get around Love, falling away deep in the shot clock.
You know, with Bacot out, Leaky Black is an asset on the backboards, and he's got the ability to carry the ball out on the dribble.
Leaky Black playing his 141st career college basketball game this evening against the Eagles. Nance tries the other side. Not the desired result after canning 2 3-pointers earlier.
Just testing it out. Maybe he's a little bit better on the left side of the floor.
Zachary tried to jump it off. Bickerstaff hemmed in. North Carolina and Love.
And you know, really, for Bickerstaff, he would have been better holding the ball and taking a 3-second rather than, because if you try to make that play, that's the first pass to a fast break.
Caleb Love is in the box score, over 16 points per game. He's made 34 threes on the season to lead this Carolina club. Zachary in a congested area, it's not a problem.
No, but he's a guy that I think they want to try to drive off the line. He's a very good three-point shooter.
Led the team in scoring in the loss Saturday at home against Wake Forest with 14 points for Zachary. Trying to produce a turnover. Foul along the baseline. It was a driving Puff Johnson. Love making his way all the way to the rim. And then Zachary does it for Boston here. Bacot has 5 rebounds tonight already, Mike.
And I believe this to be true. He never lost a game in Cameron Indoor Stadium. 4-0.
So Bacot in pursuit of that rebounding record. He's got his fingerprints all over the record books. In fact, he's just one double-double away. Like we told you, Billy Cunningham, the Naismith Hall of Famer, has 60 career double-doubles. Bacot with 59.
I think that Billy C. did that in probably about 80 games.
And double-figure rebounds as well.
The Kangaroo Kid is an unbelievable athlete.
Bacot is back into the lineup. 66 times in his career he's gone for double-digit rebounds. That is a school record. Also climbing the list in career points. We'll continue to document Bacot's ascension as Johnson converts from the free throw line. That's his first point of the game.
Let's see what Bacot can do. Post not out on the floor right now, so he's got a big size advantage on the offensive end.
Madsen, shot clock at 10. Ashton Langford has not scored in the game. He coughs this one up. Black the other way. Tried a little Euro. It got knocked away and cleaned up by Bacot.
Nice job, Bacot, following after the play.
6 points for Bacot and a 5-point Carolina lead. Bickerstaff falling away in the paint.
Yeah, I think he bails Bacot out when he does that, but Bacot giving him a lot of latitude on the offensive end.
Three-pointer is all net from Black.
And that is a huge lift to Carolina's offense when he's knocking down threes. A little bit of a tipping point here early in this game, Tom.
All right, just lead of the game in the first half for North Carolina. Bickerstaff trying to go around Bacot. Langford got the defender in the air, and a foul is called. Ted Valentine, Clarence Armstrong, and Matt Potter officiating our game. Earl Grant told us at the shoot-around today, we've got to worry about what Boston College does well. We're trying to overcome some early shooting struggles in this one, Mike.
You know, it was interesting, Tom. I thought that both teams really focused in on their own stuff as far as, you know, running things, being crisp in their execution. And Earl Grant, the one thing they talked about in the half court especially is not letting North Carolina's guards run downhill, which in the half court they haven't.
BC trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. They do have a couple of wins in ACC play. At home against Notre Dame, and they also won at home against Virginia Tech in late December in overtime, 70-65. And now 4 points Langford. Had a close loss on January 7th at home, Mike, for BC against Duke by a single point. After losing at Duke earlier this season for the Eagles. Bacot had to send it back out with the shot clock at 6. Love's defender fell down. Pirouettes and shoots.
Pretty nice defense that time that Bacot couldn't get anything going inside against a smaller player.
Past the midway point of the first half, Jaden Zachary misses. Eagles try to keep it alive. It goes out of bounds, and we stay at this end of the floor. There's McLaughlin who came flying in, Mike. 21 in maroon, and Pena also in the neighborhood.
As I said, undersized but very active. They're getting off the floor quickly, retaining possession. They've had some long possessions down here. Have not had much to show for it.
Langford trying to escape some defensive pressure on the sideline. BC keeps it. North Carolina is working on a 10-game home winning streak, 8-0 in the season. Earl Grant's team trying to disrupt that. Prior to his arrival in 2020, BC came to Chapel Hill and won. Their lone victory in the last 15 meetings. Deep with the shot clock from Langford. Slightly off balance. Bacot fights for it with McLaughlin. McLaughlin gets the foul for BC. This is the first of our ACC doubleheader.
Really good game following us after this. It's going to be a big test. Clemson breaks into the national rankings this year for the first time. How do they take that on the road? How do they handle that responsibility?
One of 3 teams in the ACC. Along with Miami and Virginia ranked in the top 25.
And Miami had a claw back to win the game against Syracuse last night.
After losing in overtime on Saturday against NC State. And that's a turnover from North Carolina. It's 4th in the first half.
But Trimble, who got there was more of a shot, I think, but they want him to be aggressive offensively. He has not been a part of the offense much in league play.
Pena looking for help, and he throws it right to the North Carolina bench. 7:54 to go in the first half. Boston College and North Carolina.
Provided by Armando Bacot. Nice job on the glass, as he always does. They've really featured him in this game early on. They wanted to get him some touches, had an easy dunk right there and a great follow right here. And Tom, we talked about Louisville. He had a double-double in the first half. He is closing in on that right now. 6 points, 8 rebounds.
Bacot seeking his 60th career double-double. Now, should he get one tonight, he would still trail the G-Man. 63 double-doubles in a Duke uniform.
Somehow, I think he's going to go past that.
Other names around Bacot, Tree Rollins from Clemson. We told you Billy Cunningham has the record here at North Carolina with 60. Tim Duncan leads the way in the ACC. 87 double-doubles, followed by Ralph Sampson with 84.
Yeah, I don't think he can get on the podium. I think he can get to 3rd place.
An amazing run by this Tar Heel program a season ago for first-year head coach Hubert Davis, all the way to the national title game. Had to beat Duke at the end of the regular season, then at the Final Four. to get to that championship matchup against Kansas.
You know, it's amazing that some of those names you talked about are from a while ago. Those numbers have stood up for a long time.
Not too long ago, G-Man.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, Langford, by the way, has not scored, Mike. He's BC's leading scorer this season.
We've got Caleb Love on him. It's a good size matchup for North Carolina.
Yeah, this is back to the starting lineup for Boston College. Post working his way in. Shot clock's down to 8. Poked away by Bacot to Love.
The half court has been a struggle for BC.
Love behind the line, rattles out.
He needs to get some easy baskets. 1 of 6 right now. We talked about his shooting struggles. They've continued.
Caleb Love missed all 7 of his three-point tries against Louisville. That snapped the streak of 45 straight games with at least 1 made 3 for Love. Bounces off for Ashton Langford. Johnson trying to get around Post. Stood his ground. Ball out of bounds. And it will stay with the Tar Heels, according to Ted Valentine.
And it was a pretty good defense. Post, again, trying to avoid that second foul. And Earl Grant gave him some time off the court. I think he really would like to get him into the second half with just 1 foul.
Tar Heels have won 3 of their last 4 as they return home where they are 8-0 this season, 3-0 in conference play. Davis. From three-point real estate, R.J. Davis.
And that's been half of their made field goals from behind the arc. Half of their attempts as well.
Davis second on the team with 33 made threes for the junior from White Plains, New York. First basket of the game for R.J. Davis. Salik Bey.
To see him be a little bit more aggressive. I like his game so far. He's got Nance matched up on him. He faced him that time. Got a really nice jump shot in rhythm.
Prince Salik Bey to 4 points for the freshman. Davis was driving, Post defending.
Post missing all that time with a broken foot. So again, the injury's okay, but his conditioning still has to catch up.
Now the senior from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, inside of 10 on the shot clock. Zachary trying to post it up on Davis, who commits the foul.
Well, and that's the thing, aside from Post, BC has been trying to run their guards into the post, which is not a bad idea, especially, with the Langford brothers, and Zachary's a solid body going up against Davis, and guards do not like to guard in the low box, Tom, so it's a good play, a good way to pick up fouls.
And that's now 2 fouls on R.J. Davis. Jaden Zachary, the sophomore from Salem, Wisconsin, standing at the free throw line for Boston College. Told you about that win at home against Notre Dame, one of 2 ACC wins. Zachary had a game high 18 points in that winning effort. That's the next destination for BC. They're going to South Bend for Saturday to take on the Irish.
Really surprised at Notre Dame's league record so far with all those grad students back, and Leshevsky coming back again for a 5th year.
The Irish just 1-6 in conference play, Mike. Bacot. Nance was doubled. Weak side Bacot. Trying to get it back up on the square underneath the backboard, out of bounds, and it's North Carolina ball.
Let's see how North Carolina's offense operates without Davis on the floor. You got Love at the point now. They've got a pretty big team out there. Let's see how they get organized.
Bacot's got 9 rebounds in the first half. We're inside of 5 minutes to go, and Black wants to call a timeout.
And they've had a issue with sideline out of bounds plays, and it's something they worked on today, and they were just very casual getting into that play, and Hubert Davis is very upset with his squad right now.
Davis trying to light a fire under his team. Had some words of encouragement at the shoot-around. Back to 2020. The Eagles taking out the Tar Heels 71-70. Jared Hamilton grew up in the Charlotte area, Carolina fan, led BC with 18 points in the game-winning free throws. Cole Anthony missed the 3 at the buzzer. The Eagles snapped a 12-game losing streak to the Tar Heels dating back to 2010. They celebrated here at the Smith Center.
Roy Williams has been a fixture since retiring. Enjoying his view of things. And he's just about at every road game as well.
Playing on Roy Williams Court at the Dean Smith Center. 903 career wins for Roy.
5 national championships between those 2 names.
Not bad. So Bacot able to clean up the mess. That's 8 points and 10 rebounds. I would say, Mike, I feel pretty good about Bacot getting double-double number 60 for his career. Post forcing the issue right in the face of Nance, and 6 points for Post.
Yep, good take for him. He found the range earlier. Right now, this pace, this score favors BC.
27th all-time meeting as we go inside of 4 minutes. North Carolina has dominated this series recently, winning 14 of the last 15. They're 20-6 against BC. Another rebound. Bacot gives Love a chance. Nance with the one-handed board. He got pushed in the back. Elite Bay. So the foul against Boston College. 8 points, 11 rebounds. North Carolina in front of Boston College. 3:47 to go in our first half as we take a look around the league. And coaches and milestones, that's the theme so far, Mike.
Yeah, and Tony Bennett sneaking up. He wants to get into that 400-win club as well. Leonard Hamilton doing it. Brad Brownell getting there this year. Had a big win against Duke at home over the weekend, and a very stern test right after us this evening at Wake Forest.
Coach Hamilton also got career win number 600 with Georgia Tech visiting a week ago. He's one of only 5 coaches in the ACC to get to that number at their respective schools, of course. That's Bacot. That's 10 points, and that is the first half double-double.
Yep, good quick find. He had great position on post, so it was an easy conversion.
Post on the entry. Bounces out. So that is number 60, the tie for the school record with Billy Cunningham.
And that's, I mean, we talked about it. That's not for the last 2 games. That's for the last 2 first halves.
Yeah.
That he's had double-doubles.
Picked up his first personal foul just a moment ago. Bacot's 5 of 7 from the floor. The rest of the team is 5 of 20 shooting.
What that does is it speaks to consistency and, getting out there and, it's nice when a coach can sit there and pencil in a double-double for a game from a guy.
Last season in the tournament run to the finals, Mike, Bacot had 99 rebounds. Postseason school record. Now, granted, they played 6 games, but he was all over the glass.
Well, but the reason BC is within shouting distance, Post having a nice game in his own right. I mean, he's got 8 points, 4 rebounds.
Straight away, and a 3. DeMarco Dunn.
Had a fabulous game against Louisville, and good to see him getting off to a quick start. 14 points in that game. 5 of 7 from the floor.
And he came off the bench, Mike, to play 26 minutes against the Cardinals and win it on the road. Zachary springs free.
Dunn getting hung up on the screen that time. Good movement without the basketball.
Looked like McLaughlin on the feed to a cutting Jaden Zachary.
He's listed at 6'2", and that's probably generous, but he is not afraid to be inside.
Love flying to the rim, and he lays it in. He's got 4.
See, that's what he needs to do. Just you know, for the foreseeable future, make 3 or 4 layups and then build your way back out, but build up that confidence inside.
Yeah, Mike, you talked about his struggles from the floor against Louisville on the road, just 3 of 14 for Caleb Love, who is 2 of 9 in this game and has missed all 4 of his 3-point attempts.
And in this stretch, he's got to run the team, too.
Post thinking about a 3. Kelly missed, other way for North Carolina and Black. Bacot hit the deck.
Post with the foul away from it. Here's the look. They're just, you know, he should be in the scouting report from there, but that's just good movement without the basketball for Zachary. And then here it is, the good back cut. You've got size, attack the rim. Post was lifted, so there was no shot blocker inside.
For Dunn, who made that 3 a moment ago, the 14 points of Louisville, first time in his career to get the double digits for the sophomore. He's on the weak side, rips it down, had it knocked away. McLaughlin made the play.
They're going to call Zachary for the foul. Been some pretty good defense. North Carolina getting on the offensive glass, though, getting multiple possessions. 9 offensive rebounds for North Carolina so far.
Tar Heels into the bonus with Dunn at the free throw line.
I think that first miss, just a function. He was only 5 of 6 on the season, so hasn't had enough reps there to get comfortable.
His teammate Armando Bacot, 12 rebounds, 14 points in the first half, showing no ill effects of that injury to his ankle very early in the game against Virginia. In fact, just in the first minute.
Yeah, and Zachary comes back and answers. And you know what? I saw that injury, and I saw the way that Bacot was helped off the floor. I thought it surprised me, and it says a lot about him that he was back the very next game. I thought he was going to be out for a while.
Yeah, loss at Virginia, 65-58, followed up by the Louisville win. Here comes Zachary again, streaking down the lane and putting it in. 10 points in the first half for Zachary.
Yeah, and this is exactly what BC needed to, you know, not let North Carolina stretch out the lead going into half. They've had a nice little spurt here.
Black out of the corner. Bickerstaff up for the board.
Yeah, he's had some big rebounding nights. He's very, very good at undersized, but on the glass.
So the Eagles have taken a timeout. Zachary with the 10 points. He is the leading scorer. Quinten Post has 8 tonight.
Well, if things continue, and that's a big if, but, you know, we're looking at a game in the 60s right now, which is exactly what Earl Grant talked about. You know, if this thing got into the 80s, he didn't think his squad would be able to keep pace, and I agree with him.
27.9 seconds to go in this first half.
The Langford brothers need to show up in the second half. Ashton Langford 0 of 3 so far.
And Makai Ashton Langford is the leading scorer for this BC team, over 12 points per game. Coming up after us, check your local listings, game and time in your area. Number 19, Clemson, into the top 25. Undefeated in conference play, 7-0, and on a 7-game winning streak against Wake Forest, which has not lost at home this season for Steve Ford. Sets coming up 9 Eastern. Check your local listings. A 20-point win in Clemson, South Carolina earlier this season for the Tigers when the teams met. Final seconds. Zachary and McLaughlin, 2-man game, knocked out of bounds. Carolina ball. 6.5 on the clock.
BC has left more than a few points on the floor with some easy layups inside. They have not converted.
38% shooting in the first half. Boston College 39%. North Carolina. Love stumbles, got tangled up with McLaughlin.
And that's not actually a bad foul to now that does put them in the 1-1.
So there will be free throws. Second on Devin McLaughlin. Redshirt freshman for Earl Grant in his second season. Was the head coach at the College of Charleston. Made the NCAA tournament with that program in 2018. Nance turns around and shoots. 31-26 will be the halftime lead, but Jaden Zachary and his teammates might get encouraged hanging in there with the Tar Heels.
No, absolutely. I think this is a, we talk about a great pace for them. North Carolina has been bothered by some turnovers. They really rely on, obviously, them. Ashton Langford has not scored in the game. 0 of 3 so far. Only 3 field goal attempts.
Boston College only attempted 2 3-pointers, missed them both. North Carolina 5 of 14 on 3-pointers. They have the ball. But crank up the second half. Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
There was a noticeable drop-off, too, in the efficiency with Davis off the floor for North Carolina. He needs to stay on, and number 5 picks up right where he left off.
12 points in the game. Armando Bacot already with his 60th double-double for his career to tie the Carolina record.
They're going to call Bacot for the foul, and here's the look. Just great spin. No double team help coming from the baseline like it was in the first half, so he had a great angle to the basket.
Second foul picked up by Bacot. Has his 11th double-double this season for the senior from Richmond, Virginia. Langford rattles that one in. The junior from Worcester, Massachusetts, now with 6 points in the game for BC.
Yeah, neither one of them really been aggressive. That was only the 3rd field goal attempt in the game for him.
Love launching.
So much for getting going, right going to the basket. A long 3. BC going under that time, going to daring him to take that shot.
7 points for Love, his first 3 of the game, and 162nd 3 of his career, and that's Post calculating the angle. He's got 10.
Yeah, and he's being aggressive. I mean, he's attacking Bacot. He got an early foul on him in this half. He wants to pick up a second one.
Nance. Black. Bacot against Post. Count the basket.
Well, and the one who makes that happen, Leaky Black, at 6'8", getting on the offensive glass. It's a very, very long, tall front line that North Carolina has out there. And just finishing right through the play.
Post now with 3 personals. Bacot up to 15 points after the free throw to go along with his 13 rebounds. Carolina by 9.
This again, BC has had the answer for these. It looks like North Carolina is going to stretch the lead out. Let's see what they do with this possession.
Bacot defending Zachary. Post with the tip. Foul against North Carolina.
Davis is going to be his 3rd foul. And what he did, he got hung up inside on Post. Post had rolled in. He was right in front, and I think Post may get 2 free throws out of this.
BC going to the line. Hubert Davis wants an explanation in that Carolina bench area. BC has not missed from the free throw line, 6 for 6. Post is 2 for 2 on his free throw attempts. Post still at 10 points as we get a message from Coyote Tractor.
In my experience, if you work the land, you got to be a jack of all trades. You got to have a little bit of optimism and a whole lot of get-go.
1 of 2 from Post. He's at 11 points for BC. He and Zachary double-digit scorers. Bacot leads the way with 15, the only Tar Heel to get the double figures so far. Davis tried to drop it to Nance. Pass in tight quarters, out of bounds, and Eagle basketball.
Just really, I mean, Davis was too close to Nance to make that post play. Good active hands defensively for Eagles.
So that last foul that was originally given to R.J. Davis has been switched to Nance.
And that's big. It keeps him out on the court for North Carolina.
So Davis with 2 personals. Post the move against Bacot.
Good aggressive move. No double team coming from North Carolina. And Bacot kind of gave him room inside that time. Didn't want to pick up a second foul here early in the second half.
13 points now for Post. Remember, he's missed 13 games this season for the Eagles with a foot injury. Davis regathers and hits the 3.
Crowd wanted a foul on Post, who showed really hard out on that screen, which is what they worked in his shoot-around today. Davis, we talked about it, he's really been finding the range in the last 10 games.
Mike is 2 for 2 on 3-pointers. Ashton Langford on the feed from Post. And that foul is against Davis. It'll be his 3rd.
Here's a look. You see the, and then just late getting there by Ashton Langford. Davis just taking the extra dribble, getting some space to shoot the ball. And even with that 3rd foul, it doesn't look like Hubert Davis is making a move to substitute for him.
Davis, who's made a couple of threes out of the 7 made in total for North Carolina, right on their season average for threes in a game. And now Mekhi Ashton Langford, his first point of the game comes at the 16:46 mark of the second half.
And let's see, too, if BC keeps going to that play to try to put some pressure on Davis, defend. Both Langfords can get into the paint and score as guards.
Mekhi Ashton Langford closing in on 1,000 points for his career, both at Providence and Boston College. Needs 14 now for 1,000 with those 2 free throws. His first points of the evening.
Earl Grant talked about the fact that the team that he had working this summer was not the team that he had to start the season because of injuries. This is starting to look a little bit more like what he had.
Deflected out of bounds, North Carolina basketball. Both teams right now, Mike, shooting 43% of the game. Big improvement from the last time they played here a season ago, when both teams were in the 20s and Carolina won it. In fact, they won both meetings last season between the teams. Shot clock is inside of 10. Cross it over, Davis down the lane. Ashton Langford recovered. Zachary out ahead, using the body to shield from the defender. Black comes in and grabs it.
And he was too interested in drawing contact instead of finishing.
R.J. Davis.
5-point swing, all at pace of play.
Ashton Langford, long distance 3 attempt.
R.J. Davis, and then they're going to get a jump ball, and it's going to be BC ball, but
trying to blow the roof off the Smith Center. Fans almost went bananas, G-Man, on that last 3 attempt by R.J. Davis. We were going to wear those outfits. It's a good thing we didn't. That would have been embarrassing.
I just think we thought we had an original idea, but a little bit of a calculated risk by Earl Grant that time. He was close to calling a timeout to stop that run. If Davis had hit that 3, it would have forced his hand for sure, but he was able to get to the under 16 media timeout and the jump ball. So let's see how they execute out of that timeout in this possession.
Well, Grant spent some time in the ACC under Brad Brownell as an assistant coach at Clemson. Prior to taking over at the College of Charleston and now Boston College in his second season, foul against North Carolina. Well, you want to stay tuned for the fast break. It's presented by your local Ford dealer.
And just to show you the respect that Zachary's gotten defensively, they've got Leaky Black on him, who's about 6 inches taller.
Clemson and Wake Forest to follow us from Winston-Salem in the doubleheader tonight.
Nice left hand.
8 points.
The guards have done a nice job in the low post. Good answer.
Lamar Langford Jr., the younger brother of the guy Ashton Langford. Black tried to flip it inside. It was knocked away. McLaughlin anticipation. Bickerstaff off the glass.
And just a turnover. Black got caught without a dribble, tried a lazy one-hand pass, and that leads to 2 points. And all of a sudden now, the crowd has to re-energize.
Bickerstaff's first points of the night.
Oh, look at that defensive stance.
What?
Earl Grant.
How about the 46-year-old from North Charleston, South Carolina? Mikey played at Division II Georgia College.
And by the way, I like the shirt. I like the coat and tie.
I do too.
Sorry, I'm a little old school, but I like that.
Matching sneakers as well.
And this run happened with Post. He's coming back into the game, but it happened with a smaller lineup out there.
13 points for Post. Trying to defend against Bacot. Those two guys are really talking, going at it. And there's a conversation right now, and they need to be separated.
And the thing that Post can't afford is a double technical right here to get his 4th personal foul. He's got 4 on that play, and just very physical inside. He's got to understand what his foul situation is.
Zachary poked it away into the North Carolina bench.
And it's a good thing they got that tip out. And we're going to leave the Post. They were going to go right at him and try to pick up that 5th. And he is not a darling with the North Carolina fans right now.
Physical, aggressive play between him and Bacot on the inside. Jump stop, Davis. 11 points.
It's interesting, Hubert Davis staying with him with those 3 fouls, but so important to this team.
R.J. Davis approaching his average on the season, 16.2 points per game. Bickerstaff, defended by Bacot, knocks it away to Black. Davis has the last 8 points for North Carolina. Black power dribble off the glass, going to the line.
Well, this is what the big man has to do. He was anticipating the double team, and if you're Leaky Black, just follow that guy right in, have your hands ready, and you get a 3-point play opportunity.
How about the graduate student?
That's 2 college careers.
Concord, North Carolina.
41 games.
Amazing. 68% from the line. Cannot finish off the old school 3-point play. Ashton Langford slightly off the mark. Bacot gobbles it up. 14 rebounds. Done. Baseline. Looking for Johnson. And it'll stay with North Carolina.
I think Marco Dunn would have been better served to try to get that up. It looked like he was in a pretty good position to convert the layup.
Dunn, who missed 5 games this season with a hand injury. He's got 4 points tonight for Carolina. Coming off of that bench. Davis directs some traffic. 10 on the shot clock. Johnson. Still a 10-point game. Ashton Langford accelerating.
Good take. He had his defender on his hip the whole way in, so a good decision to go right to the rim.
He's got 4 points. BC hanging in there with North Carolina. Bacot was calling for the ball on the block. Davis puts it and hits it.
Big lift. You know, Bacot got more touches when Post was in the game than when he's getting scarred by a smaller defender, but Davis has been brilliant from the perimeter.
14 points for Davis. Ashton Langford, high degree of difficulty around Bacot. Black could not handle the pass. A little bit high and out of bounds.
And that's what happens when a guard doesn't lead the fast break. Johnson a little out of control with the turnover in transition.
North Carolina's early season struggles were well documented. The tumble out of the top 25, but returning to solid play. We asked Hubert Davis about that. He said maybe it was a good experience for this club early on, Mike.
Well, he also said he'd like to go 40-0 and learn from that experience, too. That wouldn't be such a bad thing. But
come to think of it, yeah, he did say that, too. Langford Jr. put on the brakes, lost the handle. Bickerstaff is there for BC. That's a basketball family right there. His uncle, the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, grandfather, Bernie.
He's 12th in the conference in rebounding, 6.3. So talk about him undersized, but knows for the ball.
So the foul against North Carolina and Armando Bacot. Hunter Tyson and the Clemson Tigers, Mike, trying to stay perfect in ACC play.
That was a huge get for Brad Brownell for him to come back this year. It's such a leader, double-double for him, the three-point shooting. And, I think in this game, too, P.J. Hall may be a big factor for Clemson. He's had some injury issues, the dislocated knee, and coming back from that. But he's had some big in-game plays for that club.
Hall had 26 points in the win against Duke on Saturday.
Cam Hildreth has had a terrific year for Wake Forest.
Tyree Appleby.
Monsanto, 3.
Here it's the Eagles and the Tar Heels, 52-43. Langford Jr. Armando Bacot.
R.J. Davis is down. He got popped on that play.
R.J. Davis, who has 14 points and is 4 of 5 on three-pointers.
We're looking at it, he was in the vicinity of Bacot.
Bickerstaff was also there, and Bacot was kind of pointing at Bickerstaff after the rebound. His 15th of the game. Davis appears to be okay, and he'll bring it up for North Carolina. How about Davis, Mike? 11 of the last 13 points for the Tar Heels.
His improved shooting coming out. He had a hand injury early in the season. He's really struggling, but has found the range.
Black cannot find the range.
And they'll let him shoot. They prefer to have him shoot of anybody on the floor.
Quick release from Zachary. Entry to Bacot with the turnaround. Wow. How did he figure that one out? Broke out the protractor and hit it off the glass.
With very little angle to work with, but this is where he just does his work early. Look, he gets 2 feet in the paint on the catch, right point blank range. Beautiful position. Really nothing that Bickerstaff could do.
17 points for Bacot. Right on his season average. They'll stay at 17, 15 boards as well. Whistle on the play. First on Johnson. He gets the foul for North Carolina. So Bacot with his 17 points went past Mitch Kupchak on the all-time scoring list here at North Carolina.
Was that shoot around today?
It was.
Great to see him.
Hornets general manager down the road.
And again, just BC with those answers to stay within shouting distance.
Great move by Bickerstaff for 2. His grandfather was the first ever coach of the Charlotte Bobcats back in 04-05. Bernie. Out of bounds. BC ball.
Those are the things, I mean, when Hubert Davis talked about the turnovers, the empty possessions, and just really harping on his team on defense, every possession locking in.
Zachary missed. Black had the board. BC yet to make a 3 in this game. Eagles want to run. Might have the numerical advantage. Great passing. And a jam for Boston College and Pena.
That's what happens when you shoot a corner jump shot, especially from the baseline. Tough to get you got to have a couple defenders back. That was a great break by BC.
Shot clock's at 5. Bacot trying to muscle his way over Bickerstaff. The Bacot shot did not hit the rim. Johnson came over the top of the board and got fouled.
There's the look you see again, and this is Zachary leading everything. They got 4 guys out. Great touch pass. Really nice finish by Pena.
Langford picked up his 2nd foul.
I think they're going to look and see if that foul happened after the shot clock.
Bacot's shot was very late in the shot clock. And Johnson came over the top on the miss that I believe Mike did not hit the rim.
And that's been a big factor for North Carolina. 13 second chance points in this game. The referee's arm went up well after the shot clock expired.
Ted Valentine and Clarence Armstrong are at the monitor.
Clarence Armstrong was the one who made the call. You saw his arm go up.
So while the officials deliberate, here's the Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina upcoming schedule for the Tar Heels. So they'll run into the Wolfpack, Mike, on Saturday right here at the Smith Center.
Yeah, big rivalry game, interstate rivalry game, and then you have to travel and play that zone up at Syracuse, which is having a very good league schedule. Pitt all of a sudden becomes a very tough game, and then at Cameron Indoor on February 4th, and then you have to go to Wake Forest. That is a tough run, partner. You don't have, there's just everybody is in the top third of the conference right there, record-wise.
Tar Heels are 4-3 in conference play. And so the foul was committed prior to the shot clock. Johnson got the double digits in the home win January 7th against the Irish, or 5 from the floor. Johnson with just a single point so far and 0 for 3 from the floor. Still more details being attended to before we put it back in play with 9:03 to go, and I don't think we're ready quite yet.
There are some guys that Dunn and Bacot were sitting over at the bench getting a little extra rest.
Well, Dunn wanted to go to the free throw line and take the free throws, and Johnson said, "It's my turn." So Nance will come back in. So will Love. Dunn and Bacot leave. Johnson has one more free throw. 65% on the season for Johnson at the line. Bacot leaves the game with 17 points and 15 rebounds.
Imagine Hubert Davis just trying to get him a quick flow underneath to get underneath the 8-minute mark.
Now, Bacot has scored in double digits in every game, Mike, except the Virginia game where he had to leave with the ankle injury in the first minute of play. In fact, 7 times this season he scored 20 or more. BC still within striking distance. 8:45 to go and rolling. Pena.
He's been a factor in the second half, giving them some good points. 4 points. He had that nice dunk off the break earlier.
BC has not led in this game. It's been North Carolina in front all the way. Nance hit a couple of early three-pointers in this game. Working the interior, does not get the roll. Madsen the clearance.
Well, we'll give Bickerstaff some extra credit. He is hanging away inside one-on-one. He was playing Bacot earlier. Now he's got Nance to deal with.
Tough pass to catch for Bickerstaff. Fights for it, loses to Black. Outlet to Love. Davis in front of his own bench. Nance able to keep it alive. Offensive foul. Timeout on the court. Caleb Love picked up his first personal on the play. So North Carolina has the 7-point lead, under 8 to go in this game. And his brother on that bench. Bome. Family from Huntersville, North Carolina, enjoying the festivities this evening. Freshman of the year, player of the year in the ACC.
There's some really good quarterback talent in the league in general.
You got to keep up with it too, Mike, because in the current climate, teams and players change rapidly, but not that guy. He'll be here for Mac Brown next season as well. BC hanging in there with just 4 points from Ashton Langford, Mike, their leading scorer.
And Quinten Post back in with 4 personal fouls.
Shot clock to 10 for Post. Taking it right at Nance. He goes old school. Was that a sky hook?
Yeah, I mean, he really got Nance buried. It took him a few dribbles to get inside. Might have gotten away with a little bit of the travel, but it's a little bit different going against Nance inside as opposed to Bacot.
15 points now for Post. The Eagles have cut it to 5. Nickel. Carolina's led by as many as 11. BC has a chance with a 3 to cut it to 2. They have not made a 3 in the game, Mike. They're 0 for 5.
That's the difference. North Carolina with 9 made threes.
Post mid-range. He got it. Post ripping ropes for the Eagles, and it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, we're getting into a little bit of a nervous zone for North Carolina, but how about Post?
Love let the defender go by. He missed.
And a tough shot to take in that situation. The offense isn't working real well. Early, long 3 for a guy who's not shooting the ball well in general.
17 points for Post. Season high, gets it inside to Zachary. 1-point game, 8-0 BC run.
How about the high-low to Zachary inside? Nobody below the free throw line, and Post makes the play.
What happened to that 11-point lead for Carolina?
BC's going to challenge them with a zone right now.
Shot clock down to 6. R.J. Davis poked around. Malik Bay in front of the Carolina bench. Davis there too. The officials consult, and they'll award the ball to the Tar Heels. North
North Carolina are knocked back on their heels a little bit right now. Not great body language out there. Bacot and Post get right into it. The ball hasn't even been entered yet.
Bacot back in for North Carolina with his double-double of 17 points and 15 boards. Got his career high earlier this season against James Madison, 23 rebounds. Armando Bacot. Love stepping back. He's behind the line.
Well, the one thing throughout it all, he is a big shot maker. Will never really be a high percentage guy.
Langford cut off by Black. Shot clock is at 5. Post. That was a 3 attempt in front of his own bench. The long rebound. Love alley-oop deflected by Zachary. Somehow Love got it back and scored.
The deflection went right back to him. Great presence of mind by Caleb Love.
He was trying to set up Bacot for the alley-oop. Got it back and laid it in. 12 points for Love. Post got it from Ashton Langford. Fumbled it out of bounds. It is off of North Carolina.
I tell you what, Earl Grant's showing a lot of confidence in his team. Not calling a timeout right there, letting him play through this possession. 9 seconds on the shot clock.
BC had closed the gap to 1. Haven't scored since. Ashton Langford misses in tight. Nance the rebound.
Oh, point blank range on that layup.
Makai Ashton Langford, Mike, is 1 of 8 from the floor. Got beat by Davis. Post recovered. Post got a piece of him, and that's number 5.
Crowd letting him hear it, but he's played a very, very nice game for BC tonight, and I think they've got some good things to look forward to him as he gets his conditioning back from that injury.
Mike, you're right. This is just his 6th game of the season. Season high 17 points.
Well, Grant told us he's crawling right now. You got to crawl before you walk. And League Bay is walking right now, but he's going to, he's also going to get into shape. He's going to be, and this went beyond physical kind of early on, got really chippy between the two of them. His credit, I mean, Post never backed down. Nice to see kind of a classic 5 matchup down low, Tom. I like to see that action.
So Post to the bench with the 5 personals. 17 points leading the way for Boston College. He also had 5 rebounds. Davis is at the free throw line for North Carolina. Post played 20 minutes. And his best production this season in limited action.
We should have gotten, we talked about it earlier, North Carolina with 3 guys averaging 16 or more points. Last time it happened, Mitch Kupchak, Walter Davis, and Phil Ford did it twice, 2 years in a row.
And Davis now has 16 points with those free throws, right on his season average of 16.2. Bickerstaff. Zachary recovers with 6 on the shot clock. Offensive foul right in front of Ted Valentine, and Love had the position.
Just fabulous emotion here in the Smith Center. They're waiting to explode, and Hubert Davis loves the great D. Consistently, he doesn't care if he's 0 for 12. He's going to take shots and make plays.
Love is 5 of 13 on the evening and 12 points. Boston College certainly still in this game, Mike, with 3:41 to go, but consider this. The last time BC did not make a 3, you have to go back to 2009, November 28th at Providence. Right now, Boston College 0 for 6 from beyond the arc.
That's, you know, it's tough sledding in today's game to not have that in your arsenal. And, you know, like we talked about it, most of their scoring does come from two, but, you know, their shooting percentage at this half has really saved them 54%.
Eagles only average about 5 made threes per game. They've got 0 tonight on the road in Chapel Hill.
I'm sure if you asked Earl Grant an 8-point game with 3:20 to go that he would have signed up for that travel.
Don't forget, coming up after us, Wake Forest and Clemson. Tigers' best start in school history in ACC play. 7-0 in 70 years. North Carolina trying to stay undefeated. 8-0 to start the night. They've won 14 of the last 15 against BC. Zachary. That's a tough one, Mike.
Right, he's made big plays all night long. A little quiet in the second half, but 14 points for him.
North Carolina has also dominated the series as ACC opponents, leading 18-5 against the Eagles. Right now they lead by 6. They still lead by 6. 2-possession game, 2:40 to go. Ashton Langford racing right down the middle.
I think that's going to be on Nance.
So Ashton Langford, Mike, the struggle tonight from the floor, just 1 of 8. Doing what he can, trying to get to the free throw line.
And even though more attempts, they've outscored North Carolina there, 9 of 10, and they need to really make this game ugly in the last 2.5 minutes, Tom. See if they can get to the free throw line, slow some things down, chip away.
82% on the season from the line. Mekhi Ashton Langford, the graduate student from Worcester, Massachusetts. Struggled against Wake Forest as well on Saturday, just 2 of 7 on 3-pointers, but he has a couple of free throws and now has 6 points. It's a 4-point game, 2.5 to go from the Smith Center. Bacot the catch. Turned into Bickerstaff. Contact was made.
It's just the way he plays inside that BC has not been able to double team him effectively. He always seems to be turning away from the double team to score. Bickerstaff is really taking on a lot, trying, you know, with Post out of the ball game. He's overmatched inside, but battling.
Post fouling out with 17 points. Bacot now with 18.
And, you know, it's 66% for him, Tom. It may not be the worst thing if you've got some fouls to waste to put him on the line, not let him have a 3-point play. Look pretty pure there.
An intense look from the BC coach as he watches his team bring it up the floor. Trailing by 6. 2 minutes and change to go in regulation. Langford Jr. Tough pass to Zachary. Lost the handle to Black. Loves. Elevates and scores. Ashton Langford races back the other end and he lays it in.
He has been fearless, and North Carolina getting a taste of how they play. Thought they might have, BC might have been rushing a little bit on that transition.
BC refusing to go away. Carolina's won 6 of the last 7 at home against the Eagles. Looking for 3, bounces out. Bacot had the position. Might have been a push from behind Langford Jr.
Yeah, DeMar Langford.
Third on Langford Jr. $19 points for Bacot as he stands at the free throw line.
Double bonus now for the rest of the game.
Puts a lot of air under those free throws.
One shot.
points now for Bacot. 4 of 7 from the free throw line. And for Junior, trying to dance his way in against Black. Cut off initially, stays with it. Foul called. Bacot was in the neighborhood.
Yeah, they're going to call him pushing off with his off arm.
It's the 4th on Bacot. Should be. Should be 1-1. Bickerstaff's at the line. Just trying to clarify.
Yes.
First free throws of the night. Bickerstaff. Kind of the opposite of the Bacot free throw.
He has struggled this year, 55%.
Got 1 of 2 for the senior from Atlanta, Georgia. Transfer from Drexel. Bickerstaff. Closing in on the final minute, Mike. 68-62. North Carolina has led the distance.
This possession they can play out. No need to foul. Sitting back in the zone. They're going to challenge North Carolina to make a shot.
Shot clock since out of 10. Davis will make a shot.
Yeah, got by everybody. No help defense.
Bickerstaff trying to save it. Black got it. Up ahead, Love in the clear. Reverses for the jam. And some punctuation applied by North Carolina. Offensive foul.
Just a big flurry at the wrong time for Boston College. Just some mistakes, some turnovers. Look ahead and a little extra something.
Going for style points. $16 points in the game for Love. 18, R.J. Davis. Bacot with 20. Leads everybody. Now the final 30 seconds. BC closed it to within 1, Mike. 56-55. North Carolina hanging on and extending the lead down the stretch.
Yeah, I'll credit them. BC they had a terrific game plan. Got some good contributions post, even though he fouled out.
That Post had 17 points for the Eagles. Alik Bay will lay it in.
But, you know, there was Love caught fire in the last 10 minutes. R.J. Davis gave them a big boost early on in the second half.
Boston College did not make a 3 in the game. 72-64 is the final. We'll come back to wrap this one up.